Sorry, timers are up there. Yes, you missed the end of it, audio. So yeah, we did this spoiler-free. And I'll fix all the centering and stuff like that later. Alright, music rating. I love the music in this game. It was great. It was atmospheric. I was humming it most of the time. I loved it. It's definitely something that I would add to a playlist or something and listen to. There was like some epic parts with the fights and things like that. And there was also some like really like slow parts. But the singing parts were really good. Even for like the English translations and stuff like that. It was great. So I was pleasantly surprised with that. I really liked the stuff. I'd say the upbeat stuff with the fights and things like that could have been a little bit more up there, especially after hearing stuff that was on the SNES prior to this type of system, and also hearing like Saga Frontier and things like that as well, that the upbeat stuff kind of was lacking. So, but all the same, I'm gonna give it an 8. It was really good. I really liked it. There's a lot of tracks from it that I really liked. Graphics for the era. This is more like SNES type graphics. But we also have to include the fact that it had cutscenes in there that were anime as well. So I'm going to say that the graphics weren't exactly like all top-notch for the PlayStation or anything, but they looked good and the areas were beautiful. So we're going to give this it's going to be between like a 6 or a 7, but then we also have to factor in the fact that there was those cutscenes that were beautiful with the music and everything else. So I'm going to say that pushes it up to about a 7 or 8. So we're going to keep it at a 7. Story rating. Okay, story was probably the best out of all the games we've played so far. Let's be honest. There was a lot of character development. There was a lot of plot in general, even though the plot was, the basic JRPG plot of, go save the girl type of thing and stuff like that. It was there, and there was interesting characters, and there was like a subplot going on with all of that, and it was interesting. There was a couple twists and turns and a couple unexpected things as well. So, all in all, it was exciting. I wish I kind of failed the Ocarina thing at the end, just because that would have been something a little bit different that I wasn't expecting. But I like the fact that they added that. I feel like that was a nice touch, just something like that you've done a few times in the game, and it's like the one thing that the two of you shared throughout the entire game is singing together and playing the Ocarina, and I felt like that was just something strong to add to the end of the game. It made me feel nostalgic for some reason, even though I had nothing to feel nostalgic for. It just made me feel there was charm there, and I really like that. So I'm going to give that an 8 if I was currently typing on the sheet. Alright, so the mechanics rating of the game. The battle system's solid. It's a basic turn-based RPG with positional type stuff, which is always interesting. Most of the attacks that did AoE damage, there was no way to avoid it, so you were going to take that anyway. The only real thing you could do is position your characters in such a way for straight line attacks, and not many of the bosses really had straight line attacks. But, God, the status effects in this game, holy shit! Every single enemy had some type of status effect. And come on, the final dungeon of the game, enemy throws a spell on you that randomly puts your characters to sleep before the start of a battle. What the hell is up with that? What's the point of that? That was not needed at all, whatsoever. It really wasn't. So I'm gonna say that out of all the turn-based RPGs and stuff like that that I've played, it's a very solid system. It had a couple flaws. I would have liked to see a little bit more with like the line attacks and things like that. I would have liked to see other stuff, but for the most part, it was pretty much you either hit all the enemies or you hit all but one or things like that. But I'm gonna say we'll give this a 7. All right, that puts us to the grinding rating then. So, grinding in this game wasn't exactly necessary, however, they kind of force it on you. There's a bunch of areas in the game where you have to kill enemies to proceed, which is okay. It's not too big of a deal. But then there's the end of the game there where there was no avoiding the enemies even, and you're basically forced to fight them. You had the abilities to kill stuff pretty quickly, so it was just time-consuming, but it definitely wasn't necessary by any means. Grinding could have made you stronger and might have made the bosses a little bit easier, but it definitely wasn't necessary. So I'm gonna give it a 7, mostly because there was a lot of forced encounters, and 7's a good number. The higher it is with this grinding rating is the better. You weren't really you didn't need the grind, but you were kind of forced to grind, whether you liked it or not. Alright, so I'm going to give it an overall rating, and normally I just tend to, like, average it together. So, you know, this is about a 7.5 it would be going on an 8, so I'm going to leave it at a 7. And then I'm going to have you guys rate it. And there's a couple aspects of this game that I don't like. I love the story, I love the music, but the mechanics and things like that definitely could have used a lot of work. It was an overly solid game altogether, but it became frustrating at some points, more so because it was just time-consuming. It added a lot of time to the game between anything else. And it's okay, guys. I will set up a raffle for you guys. I'm going to let you guys vote, and then I'll average it together for you all. So let me set up a straw poll here. You guys can pick which one you want, and then we'll average it. Yeah, you know, I'm very close to an 8. Like I said, it'd be like a 7.5 for me. It'd be very close to an 8. Alright guys, here's the poll. If you guys don't mind, I know you mostly answered in chat, but if you don't mind... who's talking about Borgen? Oh no, I didn't see Borgen's bromide. So like I said, I'm trying to keep my numbers to a static number without going. I'm going to say that I'm going to give this... it's really tough. It's really between a 7 and an 8 for me. It really is. It's like very close to an 8, and technically maybe I should round up if I'm giving anything like that. If I'm giving like a 0.5 or a 0.3 or anything else, I should probably round it up. So we're going to say that's an 8. It's a game that I would honestly... I'd consider playing again at some point after not playing it for a while. It was a lot of fun. Alright guys, I'll let this go for a little bit, and then I will average it up. We'll give it another minute or so. I said I'd round down from 0.3 or round up from 0.5. Someone was really ambitious. They gave it a 10. Alright, how many we got here? 12, 13, 15, 16, 17, 18. Alright, looks like altogether you guys rated it a 7.6. So we will say 7.5 is good enough. We'll leave it at that. Alright, replay value. Will I replay it? You know, I could see myself replaying it again. Maybe after an extended period of time's gone by, not anytime soon. But it's a game that I could see myself playing every couple years just to experience it again. I definitely wouldn't mind that. So, yes, I will. And I forgot to put the time in for Suikoden, I think. Nope, it's there. Alright, so Suikoden was definitely still our longest game, but this becomes our second longest game. And I'll start setting up video links and stuff like that very shortly here. So for anybody that missed anything and they want to catch some of the stuff, it'll be highlighted soon. Alright, and now probably the moment most of you guys have been waiting for. Next game is Grand Stream Saga, chosen by Watashi Machine. And now we're going to have the raffle for the next game. So let me get it set up here, and after I get it set up, I'll let you guys know what to do, and we'll go from there. If you win the raffle, you get to pick the next game to play. No, longest game was, Oh, what did I say? Suikoden? Yeah, longest game was definitely Saga Frontier, especially because I played through all the characters. I don't know what I said now. Sorry. Trying to do a whole bunch of stuff at once. Alright. Alright guys, it should be set up here. So what I want you guys to do is if you type the word Raffle in chat, it'll set you up. You'll be ready to go. And just for anyone that doesn't... yeah, exclamation point Raffle. Just let me make sure everyone's in here. That's the description for it, just in case you don't know. Make sure Nightbot's not in here. You don't have to do the exclamation point. You can pretty much type Raffle anyway. Alright. I'll give it a couple more seconds. Everyone want to type it one more time? Make sure everybody's in. And like I said, there's no limit to the amount of times that you guys can win. If you win 2 times in a row, you win 2 times in a row. Does not hurt anything. Everyone's got equal opportunity here. Alright, so hopefully everybody's in. Let me see. Let me make sure I see all the names that I expect to see. Alright. Looks pretty good. Oh, hold on. There we go. Nightbot was in there. We don't want Nightbot being eligible. Alright. Here we go, guys. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay. So, funny story here. That's my little brother, actually. Congrats, Ty, you won. Now you get to pick a game. Question is, do you have access to be able to look at the list to pick an RPG for me to play? Yeah, yeah, I figured people might say it's rigged. Alright, let me get this set up. So Tyler, you won the raffle. If you can pick a game for me to play, anything that's on that list. McCurdy. Oh man. Wow, everybody trying to influence him? You won. You typed in the word raffle, so you came up able to do that. Or did you not type in the word raffle and it still picked you? Let me see if I see it. No, I can't see it anywhere. I can't see it anywhere that you actually typed it in. Wow. Alright, well, okay, so he didn't say that there, so we're gonna re-roll it, guys, okay? Everyone want to type it in one more time? Hey, I can't even tell you. I don't know why the bot did that. Actually rigged. The only people that everyone's in except for Nightbot. All right. Alright, let's try this one more time. Making sure all the new names got in and stuff, guys. Alright. Alright, there we go. Sorry about that confusion. And now we got our new winner. Congratulations! That victory music, perfect timing! Alright. There's the list. No. Not secretly my brother too. I want to know how he won without even, without even saying it. Like, I don't get that. That's very weird. It must have picked it up for some other reason. You're Spartacus? God damn it, Tyler. Everyone's my brother. No, I switched it to keyword. That's how everybody got in. But maybe people got entered in before I switched it to that. It's possible. Go ahead and take your time. There's a lot of games on that list, so don't rush it. All right. Skies of Arcadia. I'll see if I can get the GameCube version working without any trouble. Actually, you know, I have the GameCube version here. Question is whether I can actually get the video card to work with that. If I can't, I'll figure out something else. But I will try the GC version. We'll see what we can do. It's a very good pick, though. It's a game that I have actually never... I played this game for 45 minutes. So I'm going to say that, yes, it's my first time played. I have not progressed in it really at all. I don't know anything about it. I've never finished it or anything like that. So it's a very, very interesting pick. More discoveries and such, but better music. Well, I will try to figure out which version works best on my PC, which one's going to be the least amount of glitching or anything like that for you guys to deal with, and then we'll go from there. Alright, so we got our next game picked, and we are going to potentially start Grand Stream Saga today, so I hope you guys are excited for that. If I was to start to that tonight,